There is only one more month of regular season football. Where the hell has the time gone? The Rams got 4 games left. They are in first place. They control their destiny for that first round bye and home advantage to the playoffs. But first, they got to get through a familiar foe, the Detroit Lions, coming to town, playing here in SoFi Sunday afternoon, America's game of the week. We will be in attendance. We're going to talk about it today, as well as a special guest coming on, going to talk to us about his perspective on the MVP race, including Matthew Stafford. All of that right after this sound of the game from last week's shellacking of the Arizona Cardinals.
Her career pick was here in 2023. Now Stafford fires downfield. Nakua, touchdown!
That mossing that Puka did on Will Johnson in that clip that we just showed, insane. I can't. It's insane to me. And this is going to tie into the MVP conversation we're going to have about Matthew Stafford here in a moment. But a 5th rounder out of BYU. Like, this kid is ridiculous, man. Like, how hard he's worked. And it's a testament to what he's been able to do on the field this year. Not just about him, but about the organization. Because there is a lot of drama in his life, his personal life. A lot of it is public. You know, congrats to him having his first child. He's got a lot of dad energy, some dad strength, grown man strength coming into this season. But for them to be able to keep a lid on it, to not make it a big deal, and for it to not be a distraction is a testament to what we constantly see out of the Rams organization. I'm being a little bit of a homer right now, but think about it, man. Like, how many times do we hear about the 49ers? Do we hear about other teams, their wide receiver rooms? You know, someone's not happy with the contract. Someone's not happy with the yards they're getting. That doesn't happen here in LA. And in the very few times it does, it's snipped. The guy's cut. The guy's released. Very reminiscent of the Belichick days in New England. That's a bigger conversation we're going to have in the offseason, depending on how this season goes. But no, just a shout out to what Puka has done. And it does all tie into the MVP conversation, like I said. We'll tie that back here in a second. But first, I do want to thank you all. Like I said, if you're not checking out the morning show, check that out. I posted something on social media that got spread around on Instagram. So if you're not following us there, it's at first.and.tuna on Instagram. I was a little bit vulnerable. Told you guys a little bit more about my personal life. You get to see, you know, YouTube and TikTok, Twitter and stuff. You get to see, you know, this work. I have some friends that I've made here in LA that think I just do this full time, but that's just not the truth. This is like my passion. This is my second job, but my day job, man, I'm a delivery driver for Amazon. When I moved down here to Los Angeles, I did not realize how just impacted the job market is. And in this like little recession we got going on, my field is just super impacted. Very hard to get into right now. So had to pick up a job at Amazon, been doing that. But my days are very, very long and stressful. So that's why I do miss film sometimes, because like after a 10-hour day, I don't have the energy to get to the film. And then I get to it late and I get mad at myself. So this journey, this ride of doing sports journalism that a lot of you have backed me up on, they have supported us here on the channel. I do greatly appreciate you guys. It is definitely from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Because of you guys and my own circle of people, I have the confidence and the motivation to keep doing this and keep going. There's a lot of times where you don't want to do this because this isn't paid. Like, this is just me and passion of hoping that this will break through one way or another for me. So to the Rams community, to the football community at large, and just my community here, thank you guys. So now let's get back to football now that I've chewed your ear off with nonsense. So we do have a little bit of film today, highlighting both the offenses and what makes them so special, because that is going to be the name of the game this week, I do believe. It is going to be a lot of offense. It's 2 of the top scoring offenses in the league. The Lions are number 1, scoring a little over 30 points a game. The Rams, we know like they can put up points like no other. And I do want to show a little bit of what worked from the Cardinals game. And the few plays I will show from the Detroit will be mostly about Jahmyr Gibbs, because I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be the catalyst here. If you can stop him, you like drive home having to have Jared Goff beat you. And we're familiar with what Jared Goff can and cannot do. that's the kind of game the Rams defense should want to play. You don't want to let the Lions just dictate by giving Jahmyr Gibbs the ball and having a million yards. But despite the game, how it goes, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a lot of yards. It's just limiting how impactful those yards are. Are they garbage time? Are they in the red zone? Is he scoring? Or is it just, having to stuff the ball to him because nobody else is open? All that context matters on how he gets those yards as well. But our big topic for today, and what I hinted at with Puka Nacua, I got to get a lot of shit off my chest. I am sick and tired from not just a fan perspective, but from a journalistic approach. The conversation around the MVP conversation. Like, I'm so tired of it right now. We're biased. We think Matthew Stafford is an MVP, obviously. Taking the fan portion out of it, looking at the numbers, looking at the film. This is no shot at Drake May. Drake May is having a phenomenal year. He absolutely is. But when we compare the two, compare the film, the types of throws, the big time throws, the moments, the context of each games, the schedules, the weapons around them, you have to give the edge to Matthew Stafford. And now, things I've seen from Bill Barnwell from ESPN lately, God, what he wrote just felt very out of touch with what reality is in the football world. And then Dan Orlovsky, for him being such a homer for Matthew Stafford, seemingly his whole media career, advocating for him about how great he is, how underrated he is. Now's the time where, hey, Matthew Stafford's numbers and his time is now for MVP. Where are you at? You go and run to get clicks and support Drake May when he's hot, to support this weird context that Jordan Love deserves MVP votes, when we know that's not a reality. He's played very efficiently, but it's not an MVP year. You know it when you see it. My problem with what Bill Barnwell said, I know Rams Wire talked about it. He's talking about Matthew Stafford doesn't deserve it because people just feel sorry for him, basically. That it's a lifetime achievement award. He can get Hall of Fame for that. It's not his kind of year. And then in the same breath where he'll talk about, he's got a lot of touchdowns, but we got to throw that away. How do you throw away touchdowns? And so this is where I'm going to go on my rant here. The bullshit narrative that touchdowns from within the 5-yard line don't count is bullshit. That is the most congested part of the field. That is the toughest part of the field to throw touchdowns in. Everything's condensed down. Man coverage is a lot tighter. It's a lot easier to run because it's just less field to run in. Especially if you're running it out of under center. A lot of nonsense can happen. Batted balls, tipped balls, a lot of shit, right? Davante Adams, yes, he is elite at releases, but I'm sorry. Was he doing this in New York? Was he doing this in Vegas? No. Where was the other place that he was doing this at? Oh, yeah, in Green Bay with what? A very goddamn good quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. And what did he do? He won MVPs. Doing this exact same thing. Now, just because someone is elite at getting releases, at catching the ball, receptions, you still got to get him the ball. This isn't just he's wide open, just lob it up to him. No, you got to place the back shoulder fade, the jump ball, the no look to get a safety to come down so that way Davante Adams is open. There's a lot of skill that is going into this. And if it was so easy to just pass it from the 1-yard line, why is it a constant cry from fans that when you are not running the ball at the 1-yard line, that when you're passing the ball, and it's usually incompletions from a lot of other quarterbacks, what's the one thing we all yell? Run the damn ball. Where does that come from? It comes from that situation. But not this year for Matthew Stafford because it's successful. Honestly, he's making it look so damn easy that people are upset at it and trying to have this counter argument that is, his touchdowns don't count. Go look at one of Peyton Manning's MVP years. Go look at Aaron Rodgers' MVP years. They got a lot of touchdowns from inside the 5-yard line. Don't hate the game, hate the player, or whatever the hell the phrase is. I'm so angry. I'm getting my mottos mixed up. And the other argument that, hey, he's got elite weapons, he's got elite coaching, so of course he's going to have inflated numbers. One, they're not inflated. How many times have they just kind of punted the second half because they already got a lead? Look at the Arizona game. He didn't even play the fourth quarter. Let's compare the two. Drake May, easy schedule, but not as much firepower on offense. Matthew Stafford, a lot more firepower in offense, a definite harder schedule. The NFC West alone, not even leaving the division. The Cardinals are a baseball team that doesn't really count in this conversation, but the Niners and the Seahawks are like 1 week away from both, jump roping back and forth between first and or second seed. Like it is a tough division. The NFC is a lot more stacked. Like we don't know what's going to happen in NFC North. There's 3 teams there also fighting for potentially first or second seed, starting with the Lions coming in this week. So I don't want to hear it where it's, oh yeah, he's got Puka and he's got Devontae. People were writing off Devontae ahead of the season that he might be washed. He's really not that fast anymore, to be real. Puka Nacua was a 5th round receiver. Who do you think has got him to this point to be as elite as he is? Yeah, Matthew Stafford. My last final point on this, I'm so sick and tired of it, or 2 final ones. Some of the 3 top wide receiver years in NFL history, Calvin Johnson, Cooper Kupp, who was the quarterback? Matthew Stafford. It's not an accident. It's not. Now, Puka Nacua's rookie year, Matthew Stafford again. It's not an accident that the same guy keeps helping these receivers reach these elite levels. And he's doing it again with both Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Taking a BYU 5th rounder and turning him into like a top 3 wide receiver, if not one of the best in the league. Miss me with all that shit. Matthew Stafford is MVP. Again, I don't even care about the box score shit. I don't care about the numbers. Look at the film. The tight window throws, the big time throws, even in his losses. Every single week there's a throw that makes you sit and go. There's only maybe 3 guys in the world that can make that throw on any given game. Matthew Stafford, Patrick Mahomes on some days, and then I'll give it to Aaron Rodgers. Just because of his accuracy. Those 3 guys alone can make like any throw in the world. And he does it on a weekly basis. So, rant over. I'm sick and tired of the narrative. I had to get it off my chest because there's not enough people on this Matthew Stafford for MVP campaign trail that are as loud as this. So, anyways, let's dive into a little bit of the film. We're just going to show a little bit. It's not as in-depth as we have done just because I don't have a lot of time. It's already Friday. I know a lot of you aren't going to want to watch this until the game or before the game. And then after the film, if you just want to jump ahead to our special guest, it is after the film. Everything is timestamped for you guys. But without further ado, let's jump in. Okie dokie. Some good old film. We'll start off with Detroit. I'm just going to show a few plays of Jahmyr Gibbs, like what makes him so dangerous. They want to, I don't want to say force feed him the ball because they do have the 1-2 punch of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in the backfield. But they're not just going to, it's not just hand him off the ball and let him be fast. He'll line up at receiver. They'll throw him screens. The name of the game is just get him in open space with the ball, and he's most likely better than 99% of defenses. And Jared Goff loves his checkdowns, loves his screens, and they have a really good O-line. So they're going to take advantage of it, like on this play here. This is from Dallas last week. This is 3rd and 3. They're in 11 personnel. Again, reminder for personnel, unknowing folks. 11 personnel. The 1 just means 1 running back. 1 just means 1 tight end. And then when we say like 12 personnel, that's 1 running back. The 2 means 2 tight ends. See where I'm going with this? And then 13, same, just 3 tight ends. Okay. So 11 personnel here. I believe their tight end is right here or right here. This might be the tight end. Then you got receiver. What they're going to end up running here, he's going to run like a bubble screen. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to go to the flat. The linemen are just going to do a quick punch and a reset block out here. Left guard is going to punch, reset block out here. These guys are just going to trail block, selling pass, and the Cowboys are going to be out of position. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to pick up 20 yards here. Boom. And this is where he's going to be super dangerous, man. You got to make tackles. He's not just fast. Like, he's so compact and strong. He's going to break tackles. Like, he is a creative player at running back. Like, I'm more worried about Jahmyr Gibbs than I was Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, even Jonathan Taylor. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs is scary good. He's having a very, very good year. Like, 1,600 total yards. But yeah, you see here, Overshown got a first crack on him, misses him, almost a miss. like extra 5-6 yards on just broken tackles. Like you got to bring him down at first try. I don't really know what they can do on a screen here. All these receivers, like it's a sold pass very well. Like this guy's gone, this guy's gone. He's running across. All the DBs are gone. So in a situation where you're playing man, I guess maybe play zone a little bit more, because in zone these guys are probably sitting here and watching his eyes this way. But remember, in man, follow your guy, back's turned, back's turned, back's turned. So you got 3 guys not watching the ball, not realizing a screen is coming until Jahmyr Gibbs already has the ball. Like Jahmyr Gibbs already has the ball. He's running by the time this guy and this guy even notices. You only got 1 guy getting blocked. It's a DB or linebacker getting blocked by a lineman. It's not fair. So yeah, step 1 of stopping Jahmyr Gibbs is I don't know, man. Be patient in man. I don't know. Make your tackles when he does get the ball, because that was 3rd and 3, and that's a huge pickup. Like there's not a lot you can do there, man. But yeah, that's one way that Jahmyr Gibbs can really beat you. All right, I'm going to show a rushing play, just how quick his explosiveness is through the hole. This game is already out of hand. Like this is actually like kind of the nail in the coffin for the Cowboys in this game. They were, it's 36-27. This ends up being a 10-yard touchdown for Jahmyr Gibbs. The play they run, they're going to put old boy in motion here to go across. You're going to get an attempt at a block down here, an attempt at a dual block here, one-on-one. Everything kind of moves down here. Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to come up into the gap. I can't tell if he was supposed to chip the edge like a wham block, and it gets messed up, so he ends up filling in here and getting a linebacker. The play ends up running through this way for a touchdown. Watch Jahmyr Gibbs' explosiveness here. Look at the motion. Cut back. Fast. Very fast. The second he makes his decision right here, cut, full speed. And he's not touched until he's 8 yards down the field at the 2-yard line. Remember what I talked about, he's not just fast, he is strong. He will get through not just arm tackles, he will break tackles. Works through 2 guys and gets the extra 2 yards to get into the end zone. Very good, man. Like I have no bad things to say about Jahmyr Gibbs. He has no fumbles on the year either. Like this guy is very fucking good. Where the Cowboys could have played this better is, one, I'm imagining this is Poona Ford here, and this is Kobe Turner. You don't see this, particularly this guy right here. You don't see this happening to Kobe Turner much, where he just goes horizontal. He just goes with the will of the offensive line. He's a non-factor. Like his back is to the defense now. Like he just went exactly where the offensive line wants him to go. They want this all washed down because they know even if there's no like lane here, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to cut back. Like it's still a win for them. The other thing is, I think, 27-41. I'm imagining this might be like a Tank McCullough. It could be Kobe Durant. And then this might be an edge. This might be Byron Young or Jared Verse. I'm hoping, for the love of God, communication's better than this. I understand if one guy wants to go at the quarterback because that's his job, but for both, especially it being Jared Goff, who is not mobile, like they do here, come on, man. Yeah, I hope they don't fall for that. Even if they do get him on that, get back in coverage. Let's attack the most dangerous weapon here. Most dangerous weapon being Jahmyr Gibbs. Here, he, like, 41 does a good job beating inside. He has a chance at this play. How many times have we seen Jared Verse do this exact same thing, where he shoots the gap, and maybe he overruns it, but he does get a tackle at the line of scrimmage? This is that play. This is where you want that. Boom, gets inside. If he plays it, he's making this a mess in here. So they're not invulnerable. They're not invincible. Jahmyr Gibbs is not like unstoppable. But you got to play smart. Like sometimes these defenders just overthink it. You got 2 guys going here. Like Jared Goff I don't know what happened in context of this game where they were so afraid of his play action. I know he played a very clean game, but you pull these two guys out, it's a numbers game. Now you got 9 guys only. He's out. He's out. You got 9 guys to stop these 10. And boom, he's just better than them. So, got to play a lot better. You know, in reality, I'm assuming this is Puna Ford here. This is Kobe Durant. Just hold the line a lot better than this. And I think that they will have a good time inside, like the tackles, between the tackles. It's more the outside stuff in the passing game that worries me about Jahmyr Gibbs. So he also creates a lot of problems split out wide. We showed the screens out of the backfield. I could show you like 5 different plays just from the last 5 weeks where he takes a screen out of the backfield and takes it up for 30, 40 yards. That's just kind of a given. That is just the defense is going to have to play the screen game a lot close, have a man tied to him at all times. Where he creates extra problems is when they will split him out wide. Now, they do run some screens out of this. Like, hey, they'll have a bunch formation. I'll even show one after this, but like they'll have, you know, these guys split out wider and then just toss it to him quick. And it's essentially the same thing, screen out wide, right? That's a problem. But he also runs routes. Like, he doesn't suck at running routes, man. Breaks ankles on this play. He's up top, motion, runs an out route. And that's against is that DaRon Bland? I believe that's DaRon Bland. Yep. DaRon Bland. That is I believe, all-pro, or at least a Pro Bowl corner that he is just putting on skates there. That's a problem. I know some of you feel very strongly about the Rams secondary. This would be like a Quentin Lake game. This is where I think Quentin Lake is going to be missed a lot. Just one more time up top here. This is where they do cause problems, man, because like, what are you supposed to do? You can't put a linebacker on him. Way too fast. Put in a corner on him. They're going to run a play for him. Here it's going to be an out. And in this case, they want to get him the ball and have him one-on-one with the corner because they trust, hey, if he gets the ball and even 1 yard of space separation, he's going to make someone miss, just like he does here. Boom. Brutal. Yeah, man. He's the scary one on this offense, like I said. And then one last play for Gibbs here. The last piece, like, he is a do-it-all back. The last piece that makes him, I think, the most dangerous is when the defense plays everything perfectly. Either you get pressure or you cover everything well. You got to account for him. You can't just ignore him as a pass blocker. Here, they're going to run a play action to Gibbs. He's going to just kind of trail and sit right here in the middle. And he's going to get a pass. He's going to turn it upfield for 26 yards on what is just a dump-off pass. Yeah, let's just watch it here. Play action. A little bit of pressure. You got to make the tackle. All because of 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles. Now he's upfield. It's 1st and goal. Now because you missed a tackle. I don't know who this guy is. It's 56. Is that number 56? That is Kenneth Murray Jr. I don't know how many years he's got in the league. But essentially this would be Omar Speights or Nate Landman. They're in a dime look here. You just got to break on him. See, he makes a little bit of a hesitation there. You can't. You cannot hesitate. If you let him make his first move, you're probably going to miss. You're better off just running full speed and at least tripping him up or slowing him down a little bit. That's rough. And it makes them miss too. And the Lions feed off this kind of energy, man. Like, they take a nothing play, break some tackles, now they get momentum. This team lives and dies off momentum, especially late in games in the 4th quarter. You let them get a big play like this, they feel like they're unstoppable, and then they will be unstoppable on offense. It shows in the scoreboard. But the name here is you can't, one thing that helps is pressure. Bring in an extra guy. If you bring an extra guy, like if let's say this is a zone blitz, let's say he was coming, you force Jahmyr Gibbs to stay back there. You can game plan this a little bit. I don't know to what extent, because obviously there's counters like, hey, just chip and then release. But in this instance, you got to keep an eye on him. I think he's way more dangerous than Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams. Jamison Williams, I think you just throw Forbes on him and let speed match speed and give him a little help over the top. But this guy is going to be tough to stop. We'll see how they do it. Let's jump over to the Rams offense. I just want to show you a little bit of the offensive line and what Matthew Stafford's been doing. Matthew Stafford for MVP train, returning for duty. Now, shout out to the offensive line. I argue that the best press for an offensive line is no press, because normally what happens when you were talked about in the media, if you're offensive lineman, it's because you're fucking up. Now, we all love our guys. Steve Avila is one of just a fan favorite. We all know Kevin Dotson is playing at all pro levels, but Coleman Shelton, Alaric Jackson, now Warren McClendon at right tackle stepping in the last few games. He's allowed 0 sacks. Alaric Jackson has allowed, I think, 3 or 4 sacks. Had an okay season. In that regard, shit happens. You're not going to be perfect, right? But Matthew Stafford is one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the league because of their play and because of his pre-snap communication, getting rid of the ball quickly. Here's one good example of how well they're just holding their ground. Look at what we just saw on previous weeks with our defense screwing guys up, or how violent the Rams defensive line is, and then compare it to what the Rams do and how they hold their ground on a long developing play action pass. Now the play here is going to be a play action to Kyron, who is eventually going to leak out here. Parkinson is going to give a chip. He's going to give a chip block to this guy here, and then release underneath as a check down. This is Davis Allen. He's just running a wheel routes. He's got deep over the middle, and then Puka's going to get the ball on this 15-yard in route here. And let's just watch the O-line work a little bit. Boom. Beautiful pass. I do think this might have been somewhat of a no-look. This is the key for Stafford right here. If this guy sits back on Puka, I think he's throwing this ball here. But he ends up trailing, hitting down. I think he's following Stafford's eyes looking this way. And it opens up Puka on the backside here. Watch him. This is Buda Baker. Right here. He plants. And he starts moving down this way. Yeah, he starts acting this way. Because I think Stafford's looking here. He reacts. He reacts. But then the ball's coming back this way. And this is why I argue MVP. This goes unnoticed. It didn't get talked about in broadcast. I'm barely noticing it now. It's not a game-winning play. It's just hey, this concept works. It was going to work probably okay, but now it works perfectly where Puka Nacua, a top 5 wide receiver, is wide open because he had the confidence and the ability to look off a guy that's 15 yards down the field and trick him to open up his receiver. But focusing on this offensive line, just watching Alaric Jackson hold his ground on a guy who has a little bit of a running start, this block here, and then Steve Avila just taking one-on-one here. Just hold your ground. Just strong. Sorry for kind of pausing, stopping. I forgot you guys were watching with me. Let's just watch that left side. Crazy. Really fun, man. This team is just really fun to watch. I think you can get that done a lot. I think that if they're not blitzing, if they're just bringing forward, this offensive line is good enough where, hey, this is a hurt secondary that the Lions have. If the Lions are going to try to not bring pressure on certain passing downs, and then with a play action, this offensive line will hold up, even against Aiden Hutchinson. Matthew Stafford can have a really good day. So looking at a little bit of the technique, highlighting Coleman Shelton, and then the communication and awareness of Steve Avila here, as well as a little bit of participation trophy from Kyron Williams. Just a pass play. Not going to get any stunts here. Just straight up attacking here, attack, attack. 4-man pressure. I'll run through it and then I'll show you kind of what I was looking at here. One, pass is stupid. Where he throws this. We'll get back to the O-line. Where the fuck are you throwing this, Matthew Stafford? Look at Puka Nacua. Where Puka is. He's covered. The difference is the build up to it. I think 34 has got his feet planted, whereas Puka is in motion. So he's got momentum going. This guy is coming from a standstill, so you know, he knows he can't jump it in time. He throws this ball. The ball's landing just outside the hash here, so about right here. Mark it for myself so that I can go backwards. Throwing the ball there when you got a safety barreling down. Safety has got a somewhat of a jump on it. This guy technically is covering it, but then having the arrogance and the confidence that, hey, I can put this ball accurately for only Puka Nacua. I mean, how many times do you watch other quarterbacks throw that and it ends up being like a deflection or wide receiver stops and it's just a like, damn, that was an easy interception. Crazy. That's what I'm talking about, where it's like he's just operating this offense so well. Like, that is MVP-esque. Now, well, looking at one of the offensive line, Coleman Shelton actually gets beat here. 94 gives him a really, really good club move here in the middle. He gets Coleman Shelton off center to his right, but he had a good enough base right here. Clubbed him. He's about to come free. Two things happen. He's got a good enough base where he's able to push off his right foot and get back in front of him with a little bit of help from Kyren Williams chipping him as well. A little chip. Coleman gets back in there. But then Steve Avila just kind of appeared out of nowhere. Then you watch him. Does his job. Hey, I'm going to help out Alaric Jackson. Make sure he's good here. Like, hey, no one else is, there's no one else. There's no one out here. Alaric is more than capable of handling one-on-one. So Steve's head turns inside. I'm going to help. Who's most dangerous? Oh, I see this guy coming. Boom. Clean pocket. Only reason Matthew Stafford's able to have the confidence to sit, wait, hit his windows where it needs to is because of stuff like this. The addition of Coleman Shelton, this guy here, has made the communication so much better across the offensive line this year. Not just in the pass game, but in the run game too. All right, last bit on the offensive line and the pass protection, and then I'm going to show a run play just to kind of show like their dominance and why I think that's going to be a key for the Lions' game as well. This is the Puka Nacua first touchdown right before the first half ends. This is just like perfect. A lot of shit that we complained about last season about communication with blitz pickups, with stump pickups. They did really, really well here. This is, what down is it? 2nd and 10, 18 seconds left. So they're assuming pass. They show blitz. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys up at the line. They, you really don't know who's blitzing, who's not. So you don't have enough guys to the cover. You got a tight end split out here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys to block, potentially 7. So who's the most dangerous inside out, right? Your biggest threat is always going to be right down the middle. If they blitz both A gaps, you only got one center. You can only go one way. So what does Matthew Stafford do? They're going to go ahead and move Kyren Williams up here. Communicates with Shelton. Like, this is not just an accident. He didn't just like randomly tell him to go up there. The line knows, hey, I'm going to move him up right side A gap. You know this because when the play snaps, Shelton's going to move left. Kyren's going to fit right here. And Kyren does such a good job. Like, this backer gets no ground. Forces him right into Coleman Shelton. That is perfect pass protection from your running back. That is why Kyren Williams gets paid good money. So who ends up actually rushing? This guy's coming. This guy. And then on the right side, you're going to get a stunt. This is something the Rams do a lot, and we love it when they do that. This guy's job is to engage with Dotson and crash into Warren McClendon. His job is to take out these two because 9 is going to fake like he's coming here and stunt around and try to get free. That's the whole goal of this blitz here, or this pressure. Watch how Dotson and McClendon Work together, though. Engage. Kills off. I don't know if it's nonverbal. I don't know if there's like, I don't know what guys yell when they're blocking. Maybe like, just maybe yell go or left, inside. But here, the second they spot it, because eyes are up. I'm talking about here, by the way. Dotson passes this guy off to McClendon, and then Dotson gets his ass back inside to pick up this guy looping around here. And then Avila came out of nowhere. What the fuck? I just realized that. Avila, where does he come from? That's like not taking plays off. That's good awareness. Man, that's great by Avila. So same thing as that last play. All right, eyes up. He sees out of all this pressure, his guy doesn't come. This guy backs off. This guy's not coming. So there's literally only one guy here, and Alaric's got him. So he quickly is like, okay, who's helping inside? Him and Shelton. Only see one guy. Shelton's going to help here. Avila still has no one. So rather than just standing there and doing fucking nothing like Anthony Bradford would at right guard for the Seahawks, he says, all right, I'm a pulling guard now. I'm going to clean up the inside just in case something's coming. Dotson's going to have him, and Avila's going to help pinch this guy right here. And just a beautiful toss. I don't know if you can tell from my energy talking about like these plays in particular. I fucking love offensive line play. I wish that I was 6'5", 300 pounds, so that way I could play offensive line. Like it is cool. I can get a little kick step. You want a little bit of that? Man, just the way these guys play is so freaking good. Damn, don't tell people that I can't do a kick step well. Don't tell anybody. And then the last play, let's watch the backbreaker. This was the icing on the cake. This is the Blake Corum 48-yard touchdown. We'll break it down. I have not actually dissected this on film yet, so we're doing it live. Untouched, 48 yards, and then he hits a stop, drop, and roll celebration. For y'all too young to know, you got to learn stop, drop, and roll when you're in school all the time, because apparently in second grade, they taught us that quicksand and random combustion of fire was going to happen to you all the time. So let's break this down. Like I said, I have not actually gone through this play yet, so we're going to do it live together. Some combo blocks. Jesus Christ. Everything's just washed. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, you can't just go. Like, we saw that the Cowboys defenders just go with the flow. Like, you can't always do that. You gotta disrupt it somehow. He just goes horizontal. And I mean, the offensive line wants that. Double. Up the backer. I mean, this is textbook. So, you're going to get a double team block up to this linebacker. Double team block up to this linebacker. He's hunting for someone. He's probably just holding edge. I think Alaric is going to get inside here. And then Konate Mumfield is going to come from the off screen here. And he's going to try to seal off here. Be about. So here's the combo blocks. Here's the combo. And then because the linebackers just fill here, they just push the shit into both these linebackers. Everything's washed up and messy. Alaric damn near blocks two guys. So he holds 56 well. And then the track that 52 takes, he just runs right into them. Watch this. Holds him. And then now he's just gets and then Konate just stands in the way. This is a good block by Konate. Don't get it twisted. It's not always you gotta fully engage. Just wall it off. Because now this guy can't just run at Blake Corum. He now has to try to get away from the blocker. And now he has to try to like run upfield. By him just being here and tracking with him, like that's block. That's a block. And then a bad angle by the safety. By Thompson. They just gave up, man. That's just like you don't got the heart anymore in it to play this game. At all. Block was my favorite. Kevin Dotson getting run over on the ground. Actually, Kevin Dotson didn't even block anybody. He blocks the back of Warren McClendon here. Blocks the back of him, and then his feet get tripped up. And it accidentally works because it makes Cardinals guys fall too. Oh, shit. That's a great way to end the game, though. But that just shows you what they can do. Like, they just mauled these guys down below. 94 getting rolled up by Sheldon and Avila. Like, where's he going? So, what you see, like Kobe Turner do, Puna Ford do, like, at this point, oh shit, I'm getting double teamed. I don't want to just keep going this way because that is where the offense wants me to go. They want me out of the fucking way. You'll see them try to pay attention to it next film. They'll drop their back knee. Like, they will legit take a knee and twist because it drops your momentum. I don't know if that's like a wrestling thing. I seen Jim Youngblood on Twitter talk about it, but they'll drop that knee and anchor. So even if you can't get upfield and get momentum, you're stopping that whole play dead. So that way now it's just a mess of three guys here rather than, making this huge lane. That's, this is like a technique thing. 56, 55 right here just kind of gave up too. He's just playing patty cakes with Warren McClendon. But yeah. Yeah, man. I just want to give a quick shout out to the offensive line. They've been playing phenomenal. If they keep that shit going and they just have good communication, I don't see any reason. Like, there's nothing about the Lions front outside of overwhelming with like really well-timed blitzes that can trick up the offense, especially the way Matthew Stafford's been reading defenses and communicating and getting this protection aligned pre-snap. I mean, the only trick, like I said, is just stopping Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, film's done. Next segment, we got our special guest. He's coming on. It's his first time on the podcast. Good friend of mine. And, show him some love, man. You got a youngin' kind of come up in the Rams media landscape. Before we get in there, count this as the end of my solo talking. If you made it to this point, drop a Christmas emoji. Drop something in the comments below. Let me know you made it this far. But check it out. Go Rams. Joining us today, we don't always have just other older football nerds like myself, all the Unk status guys. We got to hear from the younger generation, the folks that are seeing with clear eyes, with healthier eyes, the game that we know and love. Joining us today, Roon, or you guys know him as @RamsActive on Instagram and Twitter. What's up, Roon? How we doing?
What's up? How we doing, man? I'm fired up after yesterday. What a performance, man.
Yeah, excellent. You describe that in 3 words for us. What was that? What was that game like?
I don't know. I know 2 words. I don't know. An ass whooping, basically. That's all I can think of. That's just from. I mean, you have a little bit of trouble there in the beginning of the first half. Defense really not playing as well as we've seen all year, and it's frustrating at some point, but not really when you come up with, I think, 20. How many unanswered points was it? It was probably around like
a lot. I don't even remember.
A lot too little. But yeah. No, it was just a dominance after that defensive struggle there in the first half. Just pure dominance. I mean, I don't think I have really anything negative to say about this team coming out of that.
It's hard to, man. Like, when you watch your team just completely dominate in a division opponent, it is a lot of fun. And one of the reasons they were dominant was Matthew Stafford. We talk constantly throughout the season. You have been a proponent, part of the Matthew Stafford for MVP campaign trail, just like I have. I'd say you were co-chair. You're damn near president yourself of this committee. Myself, I've watched Stafford for like damn near my entire adult life. And so it's interesting to me. I want to hear from the younger generation because you're a junior in high school. And the last 10 years or so, most quarterbacks have been, you get your Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Everyone's more mobile. Like, that's an aspect of their game, the RPO. Matthew Stafford's kind of like that old guard. He's one of the last of a dying breed of pocket gunslingers. So it's interesting to me to hear from someone your age, like, what makes Stafford so different from even like a Drake May, who is also having a really good year? Like, what stands out to you from him of everyone else that like has to be mobile to be an elite quarterback?
You see, he does things with his arm that you don't see most quarterbacks doing. I mean, Josh Allen, he has an arm on him. He can throw the ball down the field. Same thing with guys like Baker Mayfield and whatnot. But the things Stafford does, the throws he makes with just the amount of precision, it's incredible. I mean, Stafford amazes me even more every single week. Like, I just don't get it. I mean, sometimes I just think he's not human. Honestly, he makes things look so easy. He can thread needles as good as anybody. Man, his decision making too. One of my favorite things about him is his decision making. When he needs to throw a ball away, he's not going to be scared to waste a down throwing that ball away. He doesn't like to lose yardage, and that's one thing I like. I remember last year in the playoffs, wild card game against Minnesota. It was quite a controversial play at the time, which I don't believe it was, but it was when he's getting sacked and he looks behind. He doesn't even look. He just no look throws it away. And
I remember that.
Vikings fans were, oh, it's intentional grounding. He wasn't even looking. I'm like, that's not grounding. It doesn't matter if he was looking or not. Puka was in the area, and it was a smart play. But Stafford, like you said, he's one of the last of a dying breed, pocket gunslinger. The guys like that, like Aaron Rodgers, of course, still playing, but you don't really see Aaron Rodgers doing what Stafford's doing. I mean, partly because I think Aaron Rodgers is about 41 and Matthew's 37.
Yeah.
4-year difference. But no, Matthew Stafford, the arm angles, the precision passing, the everything, man. He's just my MVP, and I don't get how people can sit there, look at the two players, Matthew Stafford and Drake May, take them at face value and say, yeah, I think Drake May is playing better football than Matthew Stafford. And I haven't even brought up the difference in schedules. I mean, you look at Stafford. Stafford's played the Seahawks, who they're getting ready to play here in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. He's played the Philadelphia Eagles, reigning champion Eagles. Who else?
Niners are always a tough out, too. Yeah.
Same with the Niners. You played the best defense in the league week 1, Houston. Colts got a pretty good defense over there in Indianapolis. But yeah, just the difference in schedules too. And the number one thing I hate the most is this argument of Matthew Stafford is stat padding on the goal line. I really wouldn't call it stat padding. It's just doing what's working. Like, as a football team, if you get to the 1 yard line and you're having more success throwing than you are running, I would keep throwing until something doesn't work, until I'm forced to run the ball. Like, that's just what you do as a football team. That's not Matthew Stafford completely abandoning the run to pad his stats. It's just what the team is doing. I mean, Matthew Stafford's not calling the plays. That's Sean McVay. And before I got to mention, big shout out to Mike LaFleur this week. I think Sean McVay mentioned in his in the post game, in the win speech or whatever in the locker room, Mike LaFleur did take on some play calling duty. And what I noticed more is that he let the run game do its thing, and rightfully so. You got Blake Corum last week, had the best game of his career, and then he followed that up with having the best game of his career again this week. 128 rushing yards,
Baller.
2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's his first multi-touchdown game. Kyren Williams, not as good as Corum this game, but that doesn't mean he was bad at all. I think Kyren had about 80-something yards and a touchdown.
They both were just chunking away at it.
Oh, they were phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And especially that Blake Corum run, he just hit the home run ball there, 45-yard rushing touchdown.
Dagger.
I don't think I've seen that out of a Rams running back in a couple years. So
this is before you started high school, to be honest.
Yeah, literally. But no, that was great to see out of the run game. And what a lot of people won't talk about, but I really have been talking about, is praising the O-line from that no sacks given up from the O-line yesterday. You look at Warren McClendon, he is, oh man, he's playing so good. A lot of people were saying
Zero
along
sacks.
with me, yep, he hasn't given up a sack yet. It's almost like the Rob Havenstein to IR was more addition by subtraction, if you know what I'm saying here. Warren McClendon, he's played outstanding. I was a big advocate for his return to the roster. I didn't want to see him go anywhere. I'm glad we didn't trade him elsewhere, release him, leave him off the 53-man. Steve Avila, he's great. He is not talked about enough. Coleman Shelton's been putting on some good stuff that I've seen. It's really great to have him back. I'd have him 100 times before I'd have Bo Limmer once. Not a huge fan of Bo Limmer, but
I questioned it. I did. I thought Bo played well enough last year. And I was like, hey, give him a chance. Like I'm the first to admit I was wrong. Coleman Shelton has played really damn well.
He's been balling out. And then Kevin Dotson, Kevin Dotson's been one of the best on this line. Kevin Dotson, he's been a PFF top-rated O-lineman for like 3 years now. He's just been on it. Who am I leaving off here? Alaric Jackson. He's been playing phenomenal as well. Just the whole O-line stepped up this week. I think I saw an Instagram post just before hopping on here that the Rams O-line was the O-line of the week, or they did like a all week 14 team, and Puka was on there, obviously. 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. First multi-touchdown game for Puka, by the way.
Isn't that crazy?
That's just that. Yeah, I was talking to my grandpa, who, funny enough, is like Stafford's biggest hater. I don't know why. Stafford will throw like one incompletion. He's like, man, Stafford looks like a chump today. I'm like, man. Yeah, but no, he said, because I thought Puka had a multi-touchdown game before, and then he's like, what's crazy to think is that they just said that this is Puka's first multi-touchdown game, and then I had to make sure, and then I was like, yeah, this is his first multi-touchdown game, which is weird because I have him in one of my fantasy leagues, and he's given me 30 points about 4 times, but
it's always catches and yak. Like, even his rookie year, he only had like 2 or 3 touchdowns. Like, he was never been very touchdown heavy until last season.
No. Not at all, and especially now because when you look at wide receivers who are getting the end zone work, it's Davante Adams. I mean, he's getting all the end zone work. He's getting all the red zone work. He took the red zone work away from Kyren Williams, who was – and, it sucks for me because it took away a lot of Kyren Williams' fantasy upside. But no, this team played its best game of the year, I believe, this Sunday. You have Puka Nacua, who I used to say that I attended Puka Nacua's best game of his career against the Colts in SoFi Stadium. I think he had like 10 catches for 170 yards, something like that. No, this game against the Cardinals, this was his best game of his career. 167 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Both were pretty, I wouldn't say the first was as hard, but that second touchdown, he straight mossed Will Johnson and walked into the end zone. That was probably that he had me in awe. I just stared with my mouth wide open at the TV screen without saying a word for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that was literally, I think, the play after that Nate Landman interception, who, by the way, second career interception for Nate Landman, and his second in Arizona. So it's kind of odd that he
loves playing in State Farm. Apparently,
he just loves. He loves playing in SoFi East. So that's nice to see. Yep.
So SoFi Dry, SoFi Desert. That you hit on a lot of stuff there, and you were at like the first one I want to talk about is it very rarely do I react the way I did to like I did to the Puka catch. Like,
oh yeah,
stood up off the couch, hand on my head, jaw dropped. I'm like, what? Incredible.
I walked out to the living room because my parents were watching that game. I live in a pretty divided household. My brother, Cleveland Browns fan. Don't ask me why. He actually, I will say why. He's a big Oklahoma fan, and
Baker.
Yep, Baker.
Yeah.
So he went to the Browns, and now he's stuck there. So that really shows his character, though. I mean, my brother's as loyal as they come, and then my parents, bless their hearts, they're 49er fans. So it's
you and I are the same. My family is like all Niners fans.
Yeah, I get a lot of stuff just on the daily. It's just Purdy this and Jennings that, and I'm like, just shut up and watch Stafford and Puka ball out. Like,
well, you could tell them that I personally was at SoFi North this year, and their fans were leaving with 8.5 minutes left in the game.
Oh, that was probably the greatest thing I've ever seen. And talking about fans leaving early, you had Arizona Cardinals fans leaving in the third quarter, and you heard MVP chants in Arizona. And people still like to throw out this gimmick that the Rams have no fans.
So you said it perfectly, and then I don't want to take too much of your time because I know even you are a busy man. I do want to get back to the Stafford thing, and then we'll touch on Puka Nacua as well. You said it, like how easy he makes a lot of this stuff look, and I think that's kind of the problem. Like, he's gotten so good at recognition, at the arm angles, at deceiving defenders with his eyes. The no looks are like intentional. Like the no looks are to make a safety sit in the spot so he can throw behind him. Like that first touchdown to Puka, you said it wasn't that hard. They just make it look easy. A post route, a dime, like you're right between two defenders, like that is not easy to do. And they make it look so easy. And then Puka being the other half of that equation, like I would say, I think you agree with me. You said it off air. JSN doing incredible stuff up north.
Yeah,
like
doing incredible stuff.
He deserves Offensive Player of the Year. Like he's getting close to 2K yards. But Puka is just the ultimate weapon. Like, he's damn near a tight end. He's as fast as all the other wide receivers. What is it? Because you've got his jersey on. What is it that you love about Puka the most? And then we'll wrap up after that.
Well, like you said, he can almost be used as kind of a smaller tight end. And what I saw from his first couple of games as a pro is that he was really just an extension of the run game, and that he blended perfectly well with Kyren Williams. I think we talked about this earlier. Puka Nacua, he's yak. He'll make a really hard contested catch look as easy as, well, just like wiping your nose. Like Puka Nacua, he just makes these contested catches, and I just can't. He made about like 4 or 5 catches that most receivers drop. Like, love Devontae Adams to death. I don't think he's making any of those Puka catches from yesterday. I mean,
he's dropped a handful this season.
That has been an issue with him. But Puka is the best contested catcher in the league. Period. I can't really see any argument. Casual fans will say JSN just because they see the yards. They box score watchers. I hate box score watchers. That's like my biggest pet peeve when it comes to football fans. But they'll look at that's why it's so hard to compare JSN and Puka for who's the best wide receiver, because they're two totally different players. Because JSN, he's a true wide-out, deep threat wide receiver. And then you look at Puka. Puka's not that guy who you're going to chuck it 50 yards down the field to. No, Puka's a guy who you're going to get a couple screens. And that's the thing Puka is, I think, the best at. He'll take a screen about like 10, 15 yards and just make it look like child's play. Like he's a man among boys. Like, it's just crazy how well he can do this stuff. And is that just Puka? I don't think that's just because of Puka. You look at the leadership of Stafford. You look at the mind of McVay. Just this Rams offense.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it all connects and blends together so perfectly, from the 13, 12 personnel down to running the ball, down to just doing anything. This is the best Rams, Sean McVay, I think, just best and most talented Rams team of all time. And will this year end in a Super Bowl championship? I hope so. I really hope so. If it's going to happen, I've told multiple people this. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen this year. Because you look at Stafford. Stafford, I think, is technically a free agent after this year. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't remember how his contract works, but it's basically getting I think it's a 2-year, but it's getting renegotiated every year because of like guaranteed money. But you are right. Like, this is a deep team. Like, look at McClendon stepped in. Corum can step in. When Puka went down, the other guys stepped up, and the offense just kept rolling. That is really good. I gotta admit, like, there's a reason why I had you on. There's a reason why you stayed in the First and Tuna orbit since we met at training camp, was because of the football knowledge. Like, very rarely do you get to meet a young gentleman that knows football more than a lot of adults. So with that, I want to say, Roon, thank you for joining us.
Of course.
What do you have going on project-wise, content-wise, and then where can everybody find you and follow you?
Right now I'm just going steadily. Instagram and Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I call it Twitter personally. It just rolls off the tongue because it's been Twitter forever. But
I don't use a stripper name. We call it Twitter.
Nope. Twitter and X, Rams Active, and find me on YouTube on the same. I'm going to start trying to figure out some solo YouTube content to get out, probably some film breakdowns, what have you, some rapid reactions to games, just stuff like that. I'm going to just start trying to be more productive and more consistent, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to grow and trying to build this into something as big as you. So hopefully we can get there. And
hey, man, at the end of the day, I'm just another guy that loves football just like you, man. Well, That being said, thanks for coming on, Roon. Make sure everyone go support them. We here at First and Tuna are known for supporting the young creators. We want to see the next generation of just ball knowers grow and thrive. So thanks for hopping on, man.
Thank you. Of course. Thanks for having me.